All right, what's up, everybody? Welcome to Gonzo and the Judge Sports Talk Thursday. Oh wait, yeah, it is Thursday. Thursday, the 15th of December. I got lost there a minute. So wait a minute, but it is a Thursday. We're a day later than usual, but we're having a show tonight. How's it going, Judge?
It's going good, man. It's going well. Yes, today's Thursday. Tomorrow is Friday. I couldn't be happier because it's closer and closer to the weekend. And we had a Thursday night game tonight. We had a great game tonight. The 49ers clinched the NFC West. I know Niners Empire is feeling pretty good tonight. I know a lot of Niners fans out there in my circle. So, congratulations to the 49ers on clinching a title berth, on clinching the division title. That's pretty cool stuff for a 49ers team that I kind of written off early. But hey, I'm with you now, Chris, because you've been saying it over and over and over again that this 49ers team is a team to pay attention to. And they have suddenly earned my respect, particularly how well they dominate on defense, which is a compliment to that offense.
Oh yeah, man, that San Francisco defense is nasty. D'Amico Ryans does a great job over there of the way he alternates as the defensive lineman throughout the game, so the guys stay fresh. I mean, he just don't use four guys; he'll use seven, eight different guys, and they just got so many different guys they can send at the quarterback, and then their back end is good. They get a lot of sacks because of their cornerbacks and safeties have everything locked down, and the quarterback has nowhere to go with the ball. So they get some of their sacks that way because their back end so good. I mean, they're good in all three levels of their defense.
They
And
are.
on offense they have so many weapons. Like hell tonight they didn't even have Debo Samuel, but
Right.
you have Christian McCaffrey, you still have Kittle that had a touchdown. I mean, and then you got this rookie Purdy second start, and he played another real good game. Uh, I mean, I still think they're a threat to go to the Super Bowl out of the
I do
NFC,
too.
even though they've lost two quarterbacks this year. That system and the way that defense looks,
I agree with you.
they're gonna be a real tough out in the NFC.
They are. They're gonna they're gonna cause a lot of headaches for teams. And that defense is gonna wreak a lot of havoc. Um, for
It's
opposing
about time you
teams.
guys showed up.
Um, I'm gonna wish all the quarterbacks the best that has to face this 49ers team because it won't be pretty facing a 49ers team. And yes, what's up, Dustin? I'm with Dustin. The Miko
I think
Ryan,
he's gonna get a job.
the
I
Miko
really
Ryan,
do.
his name has been mentioned whenever there's openings. I think this time around in this hiring cycle, I think he will find a job somewhere in the NFL. He's very deserving of it. He's been considered for a long time now, and I think it's finally his time. Um, what's amazing with D'Amico Ryan is he seems like a coach now, just from his demeanor and just from seeing him on the sideline. His posture, how he communicates with his players, how he talks to those guys, and they say he's really good at addressing the team. So I definitely think he has the credentials to get a coaching opportunity somewhere in the NFL. Now I don't know where he's going to land, but there's going to be some openings come Black Monday, and you're going to hear his name mentioned often and a lot.
Yeah, Dustin says his guess is Carolina or Indy.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, I've heard rumors about him coming to Indianapolis, and I'd be fine with that. Um, Also heard that Jim Caldwell's put his name out there as wanting to go for a head coaching job this year, and I wouldn't be mad if Indy brought back Caldwell uh, either. So I'd be happy with D'Amico Ryan's or Jim Caldwell, either one. But it's going to be interesting because I think he's going to get probably multiple teams wanting to talk to him.
Oh yeah, multiple teams are gonna express their interest. Um, and he's definitely gonna be a top candidate for a number of opening positions when the job does come open,
Yeah.
and
Hey,
he fill one of those vacancies.
yeah. Hey, how's it going, Vince? And yeah,
What's
that's
up,
another
Vic?
good point. That's another good point. Is a point that Vince just made is they have injuries on that defense right now and have some of their good guys out, and that defense is still playing at that level.
Right, at
So,
an elite level.
yeah,
Right, right, and that's scary. That's scary because when you plug the rest of those guys back into that defense, can you imagine how forceful, how powerful, and how fearsome that defense will look? It's already intimidating enough without those guys. So once those guys come back, this defense is going to be even better and much scarier than what it is now. So, I mean, the 49ers, they look really, really good. They look sharp. And I I I continue to talk about Kyle Shanahan and the job he has done with this team. And it seems like this is a guy who knows how to work his magic with every damn quarterback he has starting for him. Look at Brock. Look at Brock Purdy. Look what he's done in 2 games. He went from Mr. Irrelevant to Mr. Relevant. And this kid has a lot of poise. He has commanded the offense. I think his teammates trust him. I think he has earned that trust. He has definitely carried this offense. He has put the team on his back. And a lot of people are saying it's a fluke, that he's not going to be able to sustain this level of superb play. But only time will tell as the season progressed. But he's doing enough, to lead that offense. And I like what I've seen from the kid. It's really remarkable what we're seeing from this kid, and he's so calm and he's energetic and he's become a likable name around the team. It's great to see what he has done in such a short time.
yeah. No, I agree. Real quick before because I got a little bit about Purdy as well, but Vince says he likes the Texans for D'Amico Ryans. They have 2 top 10 picks. He used to play for the Texans, and Ryans could build that defense in Houston. No, I think that'd be a good fit too, because I think he would restore a lot better culture into the Houston program, and maybe be able to get the Texans back on track.
He would, but let's just say if he doesn't turn it around after one season, then he's already on the hot seat. We know how the Texans operate their business.
But if the Texans are going to do that, it don't matter who they hire as the coach, because you got to give a coach more than one season, especially if your team is that bad. You can't expect. You got to give the guy at least 2 years, at least 2 years.
You can't expect him to revive.
Yeah, he can't just go in there and snap his fingers and boom, now you have a winning team. I mean,
right?
If you could do that, me and you'd be a coach.
Yeah, absolutely. And one more thing before we move on about Brock Purdy. I think the system also works for him because we know that Kyle Shanahan knows how to nurture these quarterbacks. He knows how to put them in a great position to succeed. And we've seen that time and time again with Kyle Shanahan. So that's another thing. And that's another reason why Purdy could be having the success that he's having, the instant success that he has enjoyed since he has taken over as starting quarterback.
Yeah, I think so. I think a lot of it goes to that system, and not really the system, but just you have so many weapons. So Purdy don't feel like he has to carry the team. You know what I mean?
Right.
So that takes pressure off of him. He ain't feeling like he has to do everything. All he has to do is don't make big mistakes. Well, in 2 games now, he hasn't turned the ball over, and he's thrown a couple touchdowns in both games, and even had a running touchdown last week. So I mean, and his throws look to be on time and stuff. But it's not like he's doing anything like spectacular. But
Right.
he's not making the big mistakes.
Exactly.
And the defense that the San Francisco has, they don't need the quarterback to be trying to carry the team. They
No.
need a quarterback that can manage the game, get the ball to all the weapons you have. Because if you look, most of their yards is after the catch. They get a lot of yards after the catch, or a big
Right.
McCaffrey,
Oh, they gained a chunk of yards after the catch.
yeah, or a
And
big McCaffrey
right,
run.
right. And they like to the way they like to pound the ball, that allows their offense to stay on the field. So that's why that complements the defense, you know? Uh and yeah, going back to what you said moments ago, they have a ton of weapons out there. I mean, they have a plethora of weapons. You have Christian McCaffrey, who turned out to be a good trade with Deebo Samuel going down. Now you're gonna have Deebo Samuel coming back at some point. You got Christian McCaffrey.
Sounds like
And
Samuel will be back in the way it sounded was two to three
2 to
weeks.
3 weeks. He'll be back at some point. He'll be back very soon. So they won't miss him for a very long time. But then Christian McCaffrey, man, you can move him around. You know, you could line him up in the slot. You can have him run different routes, and he'll be effective for you. He'll come through for you each and every time. He has that burst of speed. He's dangerous in open field. So, you know, you can rely on him to run the football, gain a chunk of yards for you. So yes, that does take a lot of pressure off of a young kid like Purdy, and it puts him
Yeah.
in a good situation.
And I think the 49ers getting McCaffrey was a big thing too, because now that took some of the pressure off Debo, and also took some of the pressure off McCaffrey, where you know what I mean, you got each other now, and it's not all on one guy. So like, yeah, losing Debo hurt you, but it don't hurt you as bad as it would have if you wouldn't have went and got McCaffrey. 'Cause now, if you don't have McCaffrey or Debo out there, you know what I mean, it's a totally different situation. So that was a big move by them to pick up McCaffrey at the trade deadline.
That was it turned out to be a huge move. Um, you know, because you didn't know Debo was going to go down, but now in his absence, you got another guy who can step up, and it's the next man up mentality. And McCaffrey is there. You got Brock Purdy having this magical run so far. So I mean, things are looking good for the 49ers, and it's encouraging signs from what we've seen from this team in recent weeks. And now tonight they clinched the division. And now we all know anything can happen in the playoffs.
The big
Anything.
test, the big test is going to be how does Brock Purdy respond when the 49ers get in a game where they can't run the ball. If they get up against, they get in a game and they're struggling to run the ball, and Purdy has to throw the ball. Say they get behind or something. You know what I mean? How's he going to handle that pressure? That's what we've not seen yet, because they've been able to run the ball. But if they can't run the ball, if a team can make them one dimensional, how's Purdy going to do in that situation? I think that's the one thing he still has to answer before we can say, like, oh yeah, this guy's going to be the starter for this rest of this season and next season. He's going to end up being their franchise guy. Before we can say that, to me, we got to see what he looks like when the game isn't going like you playing it. When McCaffrey can't run the ball, you know what I mean? Can Purdy get the ball to the weapons on the outside without that run game?
Right.
It'll be interesting to see. But
That
so
will.
far, here the last few weeks, nobody's been able to stop that run game, and then that defense doesn't give up hardly anything.
And if a team is capable of shutting down the run, that makes them where they're one dimensional, so they have no choice but to go through the air. So that means that Brock will be passing the ball more now. And would he be able to, fire darts all over the field is a bigger question. Would he be able to pass efficiently, and find his playmakers, which he has done so well? That's a good point, Chris. I like that. You're right about that one as well. And Frankie over here commenting about the Yankees adding a left-handed pitcher tonight to their starting.
Oh yeah, he's happy that they got Rendon.
That has fortified their rotation, no question about it. They needed a left-handed pitcher, they got it, and that's a huge signing for them. That's a huge signing. What's the deal? 6 years, 160 million, I believe.
Yeah, something like
Something
that.
like that in the 100.
I know it was 6 years. I think you're right. It was like
it's
6
years. It's definitely, I got the years right, but I think it's 160 million if I'm correct. Frankie would know. He's the Yankee loyalist over here, so he would definitely have all the answers to those questions.
Frankie says 6 years, 162 million.
160. I was close. Hey,
I knew it was 6 years.
I had the estimate number, so hey, I would have come out on top, right?
Dustin says Purdy will be fine with that defense. He doesn't have to worry about anything. Yeah, as long as he don't make big mistakes and start turning the ball over, I think he'll be fine.
Right. He can't get too cute and try to force throws. Now, I was talking to my cousin earlier who used to coach high school football at a high school level, and he brought up the point that the 49ers don't have good protection. And that's not going to get them very far. He said that it will get them to the playoffs, obviously, because they clinched the berth tonight. But he says that somewhere down the road, they're going to lose in the playoffs because the quarterback doesn't have enough protection. And, the quarterback, I believe, wasn't he sacked 6 times tonight?
I'm not sure.
Or something like that. I
have to look it up.
He was hurried and pressured and chased down. And my cousin said he doesn't care how good of a defense you have. I mean, he said you could have the best defense in the NFL and still come up short, which we have seen that. But we've also, Chris, we've seen legitimate defenses as good as the 49ers. And we've seen teams ride and rely heavily on their defense to get them to the Super Bowl with a mediocre quarterback or a quarterback who's just below average and didn't do enough to generate enough offense, but the team still got to where it needed to go because of the defense. So what do you think about that? I still think the 49ers can get to the Super Bowl. I mean, I know there's one team that stands in their way, and that's the Philadelphia Eagles. And I'm not taking anything away from the Eagles because I think they're one of the most complete teams in the NFL this season.
Brock Purdy was sacked 1 time tonight.
Oh, okay. Well, he said 6. I don't know where he pulled that number.
Yeah, he was sacked 1 time tonight.
And I didn't really I didn't really see struggles with the offensive line. I thought the offensive line held up pretty well.
Brock Purdy's stat line night was 17 for 26 for 217 yards and 2 touchdowns.
See, I don't know where he got 6 sacks from.
But yeah, he was sacked 1 time, and the 49ers sacked Geno Smith 3 times.
So see, there's nothing to worry about. Well, I knew the 49ers was going to get to Geno Smith because they have a defense that likes to get to the quarterback.
Yeah, the 49ers offensive line, like Dustin's saying, they have a good offensive line.
Yeah, that puzzled me when he said that, So I don't know where he came up with that.
McCaffrey had 26 carries tonight for 108 yards and 1 touchdown. George Kittle had 4 catches for 93 yards and 2 touchdowns.
There was a few times that Brock Purdy found George Kittle wide open.
Yeah.
I mean, it was too easy for George Kittle.
Yeah. That first touchdown they scored where they faked like a reverse and he faked it the other way and then he threw it down the middle to Kittle. Kittle was wide open.
And I also felt like sometimes Brock Purdy had all day to throw it.
Yeah.
So I don't see any weaknesses or flaws with the offensive line. So I don't know what he was thinking when he said that. Or maybe I don't know. I will have to ask him again. Maybe I misread something. I don't know.
Hey, what do you think? What do you think about this Lamar Jackson injury? The Ravens aren't really giving out a whole lot of information about it, and it sounds like he's going to miss this week as well. I guess Huntley has cleared concussion protocol, so he's going to start this Sunday. But how's this going to affect the Ravens, and how long do you think Lamar's going to be out? I mean, I wonder what's really going on because, like I said, they're being pretty quiet about it.
Yeah, I wonder if this injury is more severe than what it really is. I'm wondering what the severity.
What they're letting out.
Yeah, I wonder what the severity of the injury is. Or if it's just a strategy for teams not to know how to scheme and prepare for Lamar Jackson. It could be one of those strategies too. I don't know. I mean, it remains a mystery.
I don't know what strategy. What would be the strategy of not playing the mode?
I don't know. Just to not have a timetable for his return, and all of a sudden you just throw him out there.
Oh, okay. I see that. Yeah, I see what you're saying there. Okay, but
it sounds like the people in charge here or the coaching staff, they're being very quiet about this, like Bill Belichick would be. Bill Belichick is one of those that don't say much when a player gets injured. But is it something to worry about if you're a Ravens fan? Sure, because you really don't have enough information to go by. You don't know if your starting quarterback is healthy enough to play. So now you're going to have to rely on Huntley, who has filled in nicely before.
Yeah, but he got hurt last week during the game and had to leave the game.
And had to leave the game because of a concussion, correct?
Yes. Well, because of concussion protocol.
Yeah, concussion protocol. So I mean, the Ravens are not as healthy as it seems. Lamar Jackson is their starting quarterback. They paid they're banking on him to be that guy. But I don't know. I don't know. I'm
they haven't paid him yet.
If it's more serious.
They haven't paid Lamar yet either.
They haven't paid him, but they need to pay that man because he is the face of the franchise. He's your guy. He's your dude moving forward. But right now, we don't know his status. He missed his fifth practice with a knee sprain. So I'm wondering if it's really, really worse than what it is.
And that's what worries me is the knee because he relies so much on his legs, in a good way. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I'm just saying with him relying so much on his legs, and a lot of times if you have a bad knee injury or you tear something, you can't make those cuts and stuff like you used to be.
Right, you're not.
Sometimes you're not the same guy.
Mm-hmm.
So that's one thing that worries me a little bit. Because I'm not one of them guys that say, "Oh, he can't throw." He can throw the ball. For one thing that hurts him is he don't have no true number one wide receiver.
Right.
He has a tight end, and that's who he throws it to. He don't really have nobody on the outside.
Yeah, he has an underrated tight end in Andrews, no doubt about that.
And their running backs keep getting hurt. So I mean,
right.
But I just think the big thing is hopefully it's not a severe injury where it's going to affect him athletically. Because he relies so much on his athleticism, and he bet on himself this year, so it's going to be interesting to see how this plays out.
Right, and his recovery may take longer than 2 to 3 weeks. We don't really know, but yes, you're right. He did pull an Aaron Judge by betting on himself. And now with this injury, that could cost him some money. I mean, that could cost him serious dough.
Yeah, it could.
If we're being real. But yeah, it's something to keep an eye out on for sure. And it's gonna be important for the Ravens to get them back come playoff time. because you're gonna need your dual threat quarterback back out there on the field. He's the engine to your offense when he's clicking and when things are going right. So, I mean, hopefully he gets healthy soon. I'm sure the Ravens, the medical staff, and the coaching staff as well is monitoring the situation carefully before they just throw him back out there. Because you gotta realize this too, Chris. You don't want to throw him back out there and he has a setback, and then you're really screwed because now you don't have your starting quarterback because you brought him out there too soon. So, I mean, I don't know. It's an unsolved mystery right now.
Dustin says this is the beginning of the end for Jackson. See, that's what I'm worried about. I'm worried about is he going to turn into another like RG3, where you get that leg injury and then you're not the same guy and then you end up back up a few years and then you're on TV.
Well, if he turns to RG3, he'll be on TV. Because RG3 is doing a damn.
Yeah, I'm just saying, but his football career trajectory.
Yeah, his trajectory will alter.
You know what I mean? Instead of being one of the top quarterbacks to play the game, which I think he has that kind of ability.
And this could be a devastating.
He could go from that to being out of the league, because of leg injury.
Because suddenly he becomes useless because that's where he hurts you the most with his legs. He's dynamic, running the football and passing the football. And once you take away his ability to run and to be that mobile quarterback that we are accustomed to seeing, then you can't really make good use out of him. And you can't get creative as you would like to, because with his ability to move the way he does, it opens things up for that offense, believe it or not.
Oh yeah.
They can run more play action. They could come up with different formations, dial up different type of plays because they have a dual threat quarterback like Lamar Jackson. Now you take him out of the offense and that changes things entirely for the offense. They're not as dynamic. They're not as explosive. They're not that great of a team anymore because you don't have your primary weapon, which is Lamar Jackson.
See, and Dustin said what I just was saying, that this is going to be like RG3 all over.
That would suck.
That's what I'm worried about. That's what once they were. With them being real quiet about it and stuff, it just makes me think it's worse than what they're letting out.
Right.
And the first thing I thought of when I saw that was RG3. Because like, man, is he going to be turned into like RG3, and then we're never going to see this guy his maximum potential.
And maybe it was a smart thing for the Ravens to wait before they paid him, right?
I mean, you just never know, man.
Because what if he has secured that bag, and
look
what if he doesn't come back from this?
Look at Kirk Cousins. Kirk Cousins bet on himself 2 years in a row on the franchise, and then he ended up getting a fully guaranteed deal with Minnesota. So, but you just never know. You're taking a big risk because of injuries. What do you think about the Micah Parsons comments about Jalen Hurts and the Eagles?
Micah Parsons. That boy is bad, man. He is bad.
I like what he said.
I like him.
What I don't like is then he came back and tried to backtrack it a little bit. It's like, no, if you're stand by what you said. Don't backtrack it, because you didn't say nothing wrong. You just said that you feel like it's not all about Jalen Hurts' reason. He said, what did he say? Basically, Jalen Hurts isn't the reason that the Eagles are winning. He said it because you have all the other weapons and the defense and other pieces. So and he has a point.
He's true. He's right. He does have a point.
Don't backtrack it because some people start getting butthurt over it.
Right. And he's very opinionated. I have caught on to that about him. I think this is a person who's not afraid to speak his mind, because I've heard him say things and make other comments. So this is not the first time we heard the all pro linebacker be very vocal and state what's on his mind. And I have no problem with that. But you're right, he did try to go back a little bit. And don't do that. Just stay true to your word. Just stay true to your word. Whatever you said it. Who cares what other people think? I mean, hey, you know what, Chris? I should take my own advice here, right? Who cares what other people think? Stop listening to the detractors and the negative comments. Just say whatever the hell you want to say. You have a platform. You created a platform for yourself when you became a professional athlete in the NFL. You have a larger platform than a lot of people. So use it. Say what's on your mind. And he's right. The Eagles have a complete team. People talk about what Jalen Hurts has done. Great. Jalen Hurts has had a phenomenal year. Jalen Hurts in reality should be the MVP, because he has had an MVP kind of year, right? He has put up some insane numbers. He has looked like an all-around quarterback. Jalen Hurts.
Ooh,
but
I don't know.
But look, Chris, it's not just about Jalen Hurts though. People forget that the Eagles have a damn good defense. It starts up front with Fletcher Cox. You have two damn good ball hawkers in the secondary. Darius Slay and that other dude back there. What's his name? Black. Help me out. His last name? The other dude on the other side, the other cornerback. Black something. I know Darius Slay, but I know the other dude, but I can't think of his name. But they're both ball hawking defenders. They both can make plays on the ball. And the defense
he said
the defense has been terrific all year long as well.
Yeah, the run defense can be a little suspect, but
I don't know. Their run defense was suspect in the absence of Jordan Davis, because Jordan Davis was good at swallowing up running backs.
But this is what Parsons said. He was on the Von cast with Von Miller, and Parsons asked, when you look at the Eagles, is it Jalen Hurts or the team? And then Von Miller responded, I think it's a little of both, man. And Parsons said it's system and team. So Parsons was saying it was a little more the system and team than it is just Hurts. He didn't say nothing. He didn't say nothing wrong or bad or offensive. Right. That's what I'm saying. Why walk it back? You didn't say nothing wrong or offensive or nothing. You said what a lot of people agree with what you said. I mean, some people don't, some people do. But during Damian says Blankenship was the guy you were thinking of.
Okay.
So yeah, I just thought it was funny because everybody was making a big deal about it. It's like, dude, he's kind of speaking the truth.
You know how it is. You know, one thing gets out on social media, gets to another person's ear, and everyone just starts going crazy over it. That's how it is nowadays with social media.
Oh yeah, for sure. Any other NFL things you want to talk about?
What else is there to get into? How the Dolphins could upset the Bills?
I don't think that's going to happen.
I don't think that's going to happen either. But there's some people that were saying that. Yeah. I've seen some people saying that on one of the. It's going to be a sports group earlier, and I saw that.
It's going to be interesting to see how the Dolphins and Tua in particular handle the weather in Buffalo. Tua has not been good in cold games.
Nope. Mm-mm.
He's 0-3 with like a 14 QBR.
Mm-hmm.
in games under like 30 degrees.
Yep. And he's in trouble in the playoffs if he can't weather the storm.
So and it's supposed to
Because
be,
they're
from
going to
what I
be
see,
playing in
supposed to be
cold weather cities.
it's supposed to be snowy and cold in Buffalo this weekend. So it's going to be interesting to see how the Dolphins handle that. And look, I know the Dolphins beat them earlier in the season, but if you look at that game, if you looked at the box score of the game, you'd have thought the Bills won that game. Bills had over 400 yards of offense, but they just found ways to get penalties and stuff and not score points. And they ended up losing that game where they really
should have
they really outplayed Miami for most of that game. Just didn't
They did.
capitalize on the opportunities.
Th-
But
there's
this time
times
it's
where
in
Josh Allen-
Buffalo with the weather and the way the
Right.
Bills have been playing. I don't see the Dolphins going to Buffalo and winning.
No, I think no, I don't either. I agree with you. I don't see them pulling off an upset. I think the Buffalo Bills are too good. I don't think that they will allow the Dolphins to beat them a second time around. Josh Allen hasn't been as reckless as he was earlier in the year. He's been able to take more care of the football lately. He's been throwing downfield with great accuracy, pinpoint accuracy, making plays, delivering on the money, throwing dimes to his playmakers out there. And to me, this is how I feel, man. I feel like Josh Allen is the best quarterback in NFL. I know you've heard me say that repeatedly, and I stay by my word. I just feel like he's better. To me, he's better than Patrick Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes, it stands out more because he plays for the Kansas City Chiefs. Andy Reid is his coach, so he can come up with creative plays for him in the offense. Don't get me wrong. This is not an attack on Patrick Mahomes, because I like Patrick Mahomes. I think he's a creator himself. I think he's a damn good quarterback. But I think Josh Allen is a bit better. Josh Allen is not only a playmaker, but he's also an elite passer. He is the best hurdler because this guy is jumping over people. I don't know if you've seen that meme I posted the other day of him jumping over a jet, and I said the quarterback jumping over the Jets. Get it? The cow jumping over the moon?
Yep.
That's how I came up with that. But man, Josh Allen is a beast. And this guy is fearless. He's poised. He's energetic. And what I like about him the most is his mobility. Yeah, I think the Dolphins are gonna lose big time in Buffalo.
Oh, I do too.
They're not in South Beach. They're in a cold climate city where it snows like hell and where it gets pretty cold. And I don't think Tua is going to be able to weather the storm.
Well, and that's the thing people don't want to admit, don't want to talk about. Everybody wants to talk about Dolphins. Tua has not played well the last 2-3 games. He looked terrible the other night. Their last game, I can't remember exactly what night it was, but the game the other day they played on Sunday, he looked bad.
There's a bit of a regression in his game. And he looked terrible, man. He was missing his intended targets. His throws were way off. He was rushing some of his throws, wasn't taking his time, wasn't making the best decisions all the time, wasn't on time with some of his throws. And if he's like that against this Buffalo defense, then he's in a world of trouble.
Yeah, that's the game I'm talking about. Dustin, was the Chargers on Sunday night.
Yeah, he's in a world of trouble.
He looked bad, and that was against the Chargers backup guys.
Right.
In the secondary.
So can you imagine if he struggles like that against the Buffalo Bills? He would have a number of interceptions, most likely in the game.
And that's another thing I agree with Dustin. If Tua's going to have to get used to how to play in cold weather, or the Dolphins might have to think about moving on, because you're going to play games in the cold sometimes.
you are particularly been in that division because you're the only warm climate city from that division. Miami, South Beach, everybody else, you're going to have to go into cold weather cities. And you're going to have to adapt to the cold weather. You're going to have to, play in those type of conditions. And like I always say, Chris, great players endure the elements. Great players find a way to get it done, rain or shine.
Yep. And Damien says Tyreek Hill knows how to play through the cold. Yeah, he's played in the cold before, but
he's played in Kansas City with Patrick Mahomes.
But the thing is, he relies on the quarterback to get him the ball. And so, I mean, and I'm not saying Tua can adjust and get used to the cold. Hey, he might come out and play good this game in the cold.
Yeah, but they need him. If he does come out,
so far he hasn't. He's played. Yeah, he's not played well in colder at all. But I don't know. We'll see. Like I said, he looked bad. He looked bad against the Chargers on Sunday night, and I was like, man, the Dolphins aren't going nowhere with him throwing the ball like that.
Right. Yeah, he did look bad.
Let's talk a little bit of NBA real quick. Steph Curry gets a shoulder injury.
Oh no!
You already have the Golden State Warriors who have been struggling this season. Have got off to a slow start. They're like 10th or 11th in the West. And can you talk about Justin Jefferson quick? Something happened with Justin Jefferson?
What's going on with Justin Jefferson? All I know is that he's having a damn good season. That's what I do know.
Oh yeah, hey, dude's right there. He's right up there as best. He's right up there with the best receivers in the game right now.
I think he is the best receiver in football right now. Did you see that? Do you remember that ridiculous catch that he made?
Okay, yeah, that's what Justin was talking about. That's what I thought. I wasn't 100%. But yeah, I saw that catch. Yeah, that catch was great. But Dustin's talking about how he's only 500 yards away from getting 2,000. And
staggering.
He said, can he get it? He has 4 games left. He's going to have to average 125 yards a game against the Colts, Giants, Packers, and Bears.
If there's one guy that can get it, it's Jefferson.
Could have a chance. Colts have a pretty good defense. Giants have a decent defense, but the Packers and the Bears defenses aren't real great. So if he can play, if he can have good games against the Colts and Giants, I'd give him a real good chance of getting it.
I give him a really good chance of getting it. Just the season that he's having.
Because the Colts secondary is pretty good. Giants has a decent defense, but the Packers and Bears are.
He's from another planet. I don't think anyone could bring him back to Earth.
Oh no! Hey, no, Jefferson is. Like I said, I'm right there as one of the best in the league.
I don't think any of those teams can bring him back down to Earth. I don't see it. I think either way, he's gonna have a fun afternoon in all of those games on the upcoming schedule, because he's just that great of a receiver. He knows how to create space. He runs his routes, consistently well. He rarely drops the football. He always secures the football. He can beat the person that's covering him. He's an all-around wide receiver, and he has clearly asserted himself as the top receiver in the NFL, in my opinion. Yeah. And he's gonna, by the time it's all said and done, he's gonna cement his legacy as one of the greatest wide receivers to ever do it. He's already drawing comparisons to Randy Moss.
And Dustin brings up a point. The common denominator is Kevin O'Connell. Look at Cooper Kupp last year, and then now Jefferson this year.
Oh yeah, Cooper Kupp was was the talk last season. Yeah. Yep. And that
Oh
goes
yeah,
back to what I was saying before, that Kevin O'Connor is a genius. I mean, he's an offensive genius. He knows how to further someone's development with his ability to, you know, call plays. Um, he knows what works for his players, so he knows how to, put them in a position where they can flourish and where they can make things happen offensively. So yeah, a lot of credit does go to Kevin O'Connor, and it really shows for the Rams, who have struggled this year, because the Rams, they solely miss him. Uh, because now it shows more and more how much he meant to that Rams organization. A lot
yeah.
has manifested itself.
What you think about before we move on? What do you think about Baker Mayfield the other night, last Thursday night with the Rams?
I thought he
Came in.
I thought he looked very sharp. I thought he looked poised. Um, this is obviously a guy who's determined, who's not ready to give up just yet, and he feels like he has something to prove to people. And the Rams were willing to open the door and welcome him in, and he made the best of his opportunity and was clutch on that final drive. I mean, he hit a couple of his receivers, marched his team down the field, and delivered. And I thought it was an overall impressive performance out of him in
Yeah,
his debut. And this was 2 days. He had only been on the team for 2 days.
yeah.
And
But
he
my
he
thing
didn't
is,
have much knowledge of the playbook or anything. And
oh yeah,
he stepped right in and went to work and turned in one hell of a performance. It was an eye popping performance.
yeah. No, it was a great performance. What I did, especially under the circumstances. But
Right.
but my thing is, can you do that? Can you do it consistently? So
Yep.
is he gonna be able to play at that level for the next 3 or 4 games of this season? And if he does, even if he don't end the spot back with the Rams, he might get another chance with another team if he plays well. Now,
Yeah.
I've heard rumors that it kind of goes to what Dante's saying here is that Aaron Donald could retire. Yeah, he did talk about it over last season, but I've heard rumors that Aaron Donald could be gone after this year, and also I've heard rumors that Sean McVay uh, could walk
I've
away
heard that too.
after this season.
Yep.
So it's going to be interesting to see where the Rams go from here.
And what state they will be in without both of those guys.
And Dustin says if Baker beats Green Bay on Monday, Stafford may be done in Los Angeles.
Yeah, and then
35 with chronic back and neck pain.
and then you
Well,
might
that's the
be
thing.
embarking on a new era with Baker Mayfield if Baker Mayfield does good.
And what I've heard is that McVay could be done whenever Stafford's done with the Rams, and with the Stafford's injuries, who knows how much longer he's going to play. So
What's
it's
up,
going to be,
coach?
and the Rams don't have. It's not like they have a lot of draft capital because they've went all in the last 2 or 3 years, and it got them a Super Bowl. But you know what I mean. But they don't have, ain't like they have first round picks that they can really reload. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens, especially if Sean McVay decides to leave there.
Yeah, I think the thing for Baker Mayfield is health. Staying healthy. If he can stay healthy and do this for a full season, then he could be a good fit for the Rams and for what they do. You know,
Yeah.
and I was very impressed because look, again, they claimed him off of waivers that Tuesday, and 2 days later, he was brilliant. Didn't have any knowledge of the playbook. Hadn't really learned the plays, or any of that, and was barely acclimated to his new team. And he goes out there and he does that. It was incredible. And everyone blew up about it too. Everyone went crazy over it because of how well he played.
Yeah. Oh yeah, no, yeah. He looked good. Played real well, and it was especially in that fourth quarter of that game. And that's what I'm saying. If Stafford may retire after the season, you never know what with all the back and neck stuff he's had.
Yep.
If he retires, then I mean, is McVay going to stay? Is Aaron Donald going to stay? I mean, so the Rams could look a whole lot different next year.
They're going to look a whole lot different. But look, I will say this: they went all in and it paid off because they
they got a Super Bowl. I understand that, but
they got a Super Bowl out of it. So,
but how long is it going to take to get built back up?
Right, good question, and we can almost sense that the rebuild project is quick
coming soon
for this Rams team. It seems that way, that they're going to be heading into a rebuild.
But real quick before we get out of here, what do you think about the Steph Curry injury? Injured his shoulder last night. You already have a Warriors team that's been struggling. Haven't looked like the team that I thought they would look like. I thought they'd be looking better this year than they did last year. But it just hasn't came together so far, especially on the road. Now you have Steph going to miss probably. They're saying maybe 3 weeks, 4 weeks. You already had Thompson out last night, or the Warriors are going to be able to hold on until they get everybody back together and get back get back going.
Let's see. The Warriors are what, 14 this season, and currently sit in 10th place in the Western Conference. If there's one team that I'm willing to place my money on that can make some wild comeback, it is the Warriors. I don't think you could ever count the Warriors out. Even with a spate of injuries and the drama that we was talking about regarding the team before the season even started, with Draymond Green, punching Jordan Poole and all that, stuff that occurred in practice. A lot of people believe that kind of created a distraction around the organization, and they're using that as to why the Warriors have gotten off to such a bad start. It's been a rocky start to the season. It's been a brutal stretch thus far for the Warriors. But Curry going down, that is a huge loss for the Warriors, because look, he's been doing what he can to keep them afloat. And now you don't have your pure shooter on the floor, your best player on the floor. That can spell trouble for your team. But I do think in the end, when everybody gets back together, the Warriors can go on this miraculous run. And I mean, I wouldn't count them out. And I'm with Coach Dante. Yeah. The Warriors will be fine. I'm really not concerned about the Warriors, and I feel that way too.
Yeah, it's so early in the season that I think they'll be all right, as long as it's not something more serious with Steph's shoulder where he's going to be out like the season or something. But if he's just going to be out a few weeks, I think he'll be all right. But they do need to. And Coach said we can't let you out here without talking about the Los Angeles Lakers
and how they lost to the Celtics the other night, a game they should have won. After they, took the lead and had a comfortable lead and then blew it because they became too complacent. The Lakers are the Lakers, man. The Lakers are an interesting team. We really don't know who they are, because in some games they look really good, and in the other games they just look terribly bad. So you don't really know what you're gonna get from the Lakers. And they have trouble closing out quarters, particularly in the second half. But I am impressed with Russell Westbrook lately. He has embraced his role. He comes off the bench. He's a spark plug off the bench. He has, scored points. He has finally, and for once, been playing smart basketball. He's driving strong to the basket. He's finishing strong at the basket. I like what I'm seeing from him. Anthony Davis is solidifying his case for MVP. He's scoring a lot of points. He's having 30+ point games. I think the big question for him, since he's such a key component to the Lakers, is his health. They're going to need him to stay healthy because once he goes down, this team is going to go back to sucking again. It's bad enough they can't win some nights with AD and everybody else on the floor. And LeBron James is still playing at such a high level, but how long will he be able to go before he sustains some type of injury? And then you see him sideline wearing some damn dunks on his feet and some damn Nike shorts dressed in street clothes. So that's I think that's my big concern with the Lakers. But the Lakers are up and down to me. They're like a yo-yo. They're like a dunking yo-yo. They're up and down, up and down, up and down. You damn near can walk the damn dog with them.
Well, their biggest problem is that they don't have shooters around.
Well, they don't have a good bench.
Davis.
They don't have a good bench.
Oh,
you got Austin Reeves, but that's about
I
it.
agree. And I agree with what you and Coach were saying about Westbrook. Westbrook's bought into his role,
right?
I like to see that. You're a Lakers fan. So I'm gonna ask you, all you Laker fans going to blame this year? Last year, it was all Russell Westbrook's fault that the team didn't get where they wanted to. Whose fault is it going to be this year? Because as of right now, you guys can't put it on Westbrook.
People also blame Frank Vogel. He was somewhat culpable as well. People pointed the finger at him. But if things go wrong this year, they're going to point the finger at LeBron James. They're going to point the finger at Russell Westbrook. As unfair as it sounds, they're going to point the finger at those two guys the most because a lot of people believe wholeheartedly that LeBron was the one that constructed this roster, that he was playing like he was the GM of the team, and he wanted these guys. Like he went out there and recruited them to come join the Lakers. So a lot of the blame will go on him if it goes wrong. And LeBron James is either hated or loved. You either love the guy or you hate the guy. So if you hate the guy, of course he's going to come under fire for everything that goes wrong. If the Lakers turn out to be a dumpster fire and they can't extinguish the fire, then yeah, you're going to look at LeBron first. And then second, you might look at Russell Westbrook. You're not going to look at Darvin Ham because he's like another Steve Nash at that point. He's just there. He's just a yes man who's there. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So that's how I see the whole situation.
Yeah, I agree with Dante. They take too many jump shots, they're not good on the perimeter defense.
They settle for so many damn threes because they're trying to play everybody else's game and not their own game.
I don't see them making the playoffs. If they do, I think it's going to be around the play-in level.
And I don't understand why you don't establish a post game with AD. He has the size and he has the physique. It's just stupid. It's flat out stupid.
Even with LeBron, you can get LeBron matched up with smaller guys all the time.
Right. Exactly. And LeBron is so physical, especially around the rim. You should just let him attack the basket more. He should be attacking the basket, getting inside the paint, drawing fouls, getting that contact. Because that's LeBron's style of play. That's how he played in Cleveland. He wasn't settling for all these shots like he is now. But everybody else want to play everybody else's damn ball game. Play your own ball game. Be original. Be your own player. Stop being a follower. Damn it. Be a leader.
he's getting a little older. He don't want to drive and get beat up on a little bit. He wants to shoot those jump shots.
Yeah, and
And
they're
it's not,
settling for too many damn jump shots, and a lot of those shots are just ill-advised shots. And some nights I'm sitting there watching a Laker game, and I'm like, "What the hell are you doing?"
I
It
understand.
just freaking blows my mind.
Believe me, I understand.
You guys got me talking about the
I'm a
Lakers, getting me fired up here.
I'm a Pacer fan. I understand what you're saying, but the Pacers are playing decent. We're better this year than I thought we'd be. So we'll see how we end up. But I like the young core we have. They're fun to watch. But all right, Judge, you got what's your final thoughts? Anything else you want to talk about before we jump out of here tonight?
Thank the viewers out there. I want to thank everyone for joining us tonight. Thank you guys. We apologize that we haven't been consistent with these shows, but hey, we're not going anywhere. We're not going anywhere. No show is getting canceled. This show is going to be here to stay. Me and Gonzo have a lot of fun doing this show, and we love talking sports with all you guys out there. So we want to thank you, and we guys hope you guys share the content, share the show in multiple places, get it out there, tell people about us, and also if you like the show, subscribe to the channel, come back for more, and also subscribe to my YouTube channel, where you can see some of my hot takes. You guys are more than welcome to chime in, leave your comments and your questions, and we can chat. Follow my fan page on Facebook as well, The Sports Judge. Hit the like button and also follow. So I just want to thank all you guys out there, because without you guys, none of this is possible. We can't make this work without your viewership. So we greatly appreciate it. And Gonzo, it was another great show, man. It's been a smashing success since we started this show. And I look to continue on with it as we continue to grow together as two wonderful co-hosts. You've been excellent. It's been fun since day one. And let's keep doing what we do.
Oh yeah, we're gonna keep doing what we're doing. I just had some medical stuff I had been taking care of here the last few weeks. We'll get back on our normal schedule of 3 times a week. But
you gotta take care of yourself, man. You come first. Help comes first.
We done one tonight. We'll be back tomorrow night. So we'll get 2 shows in this week. Next week we should be able to get all 3. So, but yeah, like Judge said, we appreciate everybody watching. Please hit that subscribe button on YouTube, at Gonzo Sports Room, at the Sports Judge, and at the All Sports All Plays Network. We'd all greatly appreciate it. You can find Gonzo Sports Room on Facebook, Twitch, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, basically all social media. Check us out on there. Please like, follow, subscribe, all that good stuff. We cover pro wrestling, basically almost all sports. We live stream some pro wrestling shows. We'll be live streaming one this Sunday at 3 p.m. Eastern for Warrior Pro Wrestling. And we're going to be at another one on Saturday night. Not sure if we'll be live yet, depending on the internet availability or not. But we will. If we don't go live, we'll air that one later. But we appreciate everybody's support. We'll be back tomorrow night with another episode of Gonzo and the Judge Sports Talk. We appreciate everybody watching, and enjoy the rest of your Thursday night. I guess it's actually Friday now on the East Coast. So enjoy your Friday morning on the East Coast and your Thursday night on the West Coast. Everybody have a great day. See you tomorrow night.